Hello everybody, my name is Sarah Ellis. I'm going to be teaching this course. This is Algebra Skills CCDM 114, and the first thing that I want to do is kind of just take you through a quick introduction to Canvas in terms of what you need to do in order to get started. I'm going to have several videos here that are going to go through different things, and in this first one we're just going to go ahead and go through some of the introductory material. Alright, so when you log into Canvas, you should come to the Canvas homepage, and I'm going to go ahead and point out a couple things that are on here. To get started, we're going to go ahead and go to where it says Start Here. And when you come here, this is where this video will be uploaded. From here, we're going to go over to the next page, which is the Getting Started overview. From here, I would like you guys to go ahead and read the syllabus. Make sure that you look at the required materials for the course. And when you have time, make sure that you go through the syllabus supplement. The syllabus supplement is kind of a hodgepodge of all sorts of material that has to do with university policies, requirements, resources that just got too long to include in the syllabus. We're going to go ahead and start with that, and as soon as we go through the syllabus together, then make sure that you go through some of these other things, including the course specifications, communication expectations. We're going to go ahead and look at some of this stuff as well. All right, let's go ahead and look at the syllabus briefly, and then we will go ahead and talk about a couple other things. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open the syllabus. And I just want to point out a couple things in here. I don't want to point out everything. I would ask that you go through, read through everything as soon as possible, but make sure that you know what's going on. Alright, so the first thing that I want to point out is this is Algebra Skills. This is referred to as an asynchronous course, which means that we do not have any official meet times. There will be Zoom sessions throughout the week, but these are not mandatory sessions. These are called basically office hours if you want to come in and ask any questions. I do not have an office. My office technically is in Cruces, and I teach in Gadsden, and I live in Socorro, Texas, so I don't have an actual office location where you can find me. If you do want to come see me, I am at the Gadsden campus in room 113. Since I don't have an office, I don't have an office phone number that I check, so I am giving you my cell phone number. Please feel free to call me, but make sure that you leave a message, and if you text me, make sure you put your name and your section number in the first text so that I know who I'm talking to. Alright, this is my class and office hours schedule. I have office hours in person on Mondays and Wednesdays over at the Gadsden campus if you want to come see me then. If you cannot come out but you do want to talk to me, you can also message me and I can send you a Zoom link for one of those days. Tentatively, I have your guys' office hours scheduled for Tuesday and Thursday from 4:30 to 5:30, Friday 5:30 to 7, and Saturday morning from 11 to 12:30. In one of the assignments, I'm going to ask you for your availability so that if you're not able to meet during one of these times, then you can go ahead and give me some alternate days and times, and I can adjust the schedule if needed. All right. Basic things, in order to email me, please send all emails through Canvas. If you want to talk to me or call me or text me, please make sure that you do not text after 8 p.m. or before 9 a.m. I'm trying to establish boundaries. All right, the next thing that I want to go ahead through is course textbook and materials. We will be using direct integration, which means that you do not have to purchase anything at the textbook. They're using something called Books for Less, or I don't know what it's called this semester. They always change it. But basically, your fees for your books is included in your university fees and everything else, and you do not have to pay anything out of pocket in order to purchase materials for this course. Also, because it is direct integration, basically I'm going to show you in a later module that you just have to click on something and boom, you're done. Okay. Now, on the other hand, if you want the optional textbook, the physical textbook, we will be using the Introductory Algebra for College Students 8th edition. You will have access to an electronic textbook, that's included, but the physical textbook is not. And so if you do want one, I'd recommend that you order it through Chegg. That's a good website. And here's some prices that I believe were last year's prices, so I don't know if they've gone up or down. Okay. Please note that if you want to purchase a physical textbook, it does not actually have to be the 8th edition. Any of these editions will work. You know, math is math. It's not going to change much. The only reason they come out with new editions is so that they can charge more money. All right. But the one thing I do want to point out is if you do purchase the physical textbook, it is not covered by your fees. And so this would be an out-of-pocket expense. All right, here you do have a list of other materials that you should go ahead and have for the course. Basic stuff, notebook, binder, loose leaf paper, pencils, erasers, highlighters. Make sure that you do purchase a calculator. If you're using your cell phone for quizzes and exams, it's not preferred just because it does have access to online capabilities, and you will need to have an actual calculator when you take the midterm and final exam. You will not be allowed to use a cell phone. I recommend purchasing the TI-30X. It's about $8 to $15. If you are going to be taking a lot of math classes, I do recommend purchasing a graphing calculator, and the TI-84 is the best one for that. All right, computer hardware, you can read through most of this. The main thing that I do want to point out is please make sure that you have access to a device, a phone, tablet, or computer that can take and send pictures via email. I also recommend access to a printer. There are lots of supplementary documents in this class that you can go ahead and print out and keep in your notes and class materials. For this class, please note that Internet Explorer is not recommended for MyMathLab or Canvas. Preferred web browsers are going to be Google Chrome, Firefox, or Safari. And if you need information on those, you can find it here. All right, this class we're going to have several types of assignments for this class. I will tell you that this class is going to require a lot of work because, you know, this is a math class. This is kind of an introductory math class, and I want to make sure that you guys have the background that you need in order to be successful in your future math classes. With that in mind, we have 4 types of evaluations. We have homework. This is where you can practice the material after watching the videos. There is no time limit. You have at most 2 attempts per problem, and you are allowed to print out the homework assignments and keep them in your notebook if you want. There is no late penalty, so if you get behind on your homework, it's okay, but note that you must have all of your homework completed for a module before the module exam. If not, it will be a 0. You may have at most 8 homework assignments extended past final deadline. So the main thing I want to point out here is if you get behind, you do not have to text me and say, hey, can you extend the homework assignment, because I'm not going to need to extend it. It is still open. The only time you have to ask me to extend it if it's after the module test. We will have quizzes, and there will be at least one quiz per week. Quizzes will be through my math lab. These will have time limits, and if you think that you need more time to complete the quiz, contact me so that I can go ahead and make those adjustments. Note, you may take a quiz up to 3 times and I keep your highest grade. Quizzes, you should be completing these quizzes without books, notes, outside resources. I want you to be submitting your own work without having to look up similar problems from the notes. This is where you should be demonstrating what you know, okay? Quizzes will require you to show your work on a few problems, and I ask that you please submit pictures of your work done on paper. The program, and I'll show this to you later, has a link that you can click on to show your work, and I don't like you guys using that. The only reason that it's there is because, you know, that is a problem that I want you to show your work. You are not required to show your work in the program. I do want it submitted on paper via email. Just like with homework, there is no late penalty if you get a little bit behind. All quizzes must be completed before the module exam. And again, you may request to have deadlines extended past final deadline for at most 4 quizzes. I try to grade these as quickly as possible, but keep in mind that I am teaching 3 sections of this class as well as 2 other classes outside of this. And so I do my best to grade these as quickly as possible, but they should be graded within 72 hours. All right, the third type of assessment that we have is exams. We will have 7 module exams during the semester. Tests will be due by Saturday or Sunday. You can always take tests early, but grades will not be finalized until after the deadline. Please note that exams, these are one of the assignments that you need to make sure you complete on time. You can take early, but if you are behind, you need to contact me as soon as possible to discuss an extension, because there is no automatic extension for exams. Please note that I will only give you 1 extension for the entire semester. Other than that, you will get a 0. All right, tests will be given through Canvas. Please note, tests are also closed book, closed notes. You should not be using your notes. You should not be using your textbook. You should not be using any outside resources, with the exception of a calculator. Again, I want to grade what you know, not what you can look up. Tests will also have a time limit, and tests will lock at midnight whether you have time remaining or not, so make sure that you start early enough so that you are done by midnight. Just like with the quizzes, tests will require you to show your work, and you should be submitting your work on paper through Canvas email. I will tell you that I am a fairly strict grader, and so with that in mind, I do allow you the opportunity to earn up to 70% of the points back on problems that you missed by doing test corrections. We'll go through the test corrections in a little bit. Instructions will be posted on Canvas after test 1, and so if you're worried about if you have testing anxiety, don't worry, we have the test corrections to help you out in terms of that. All right, other things that happen on a regular basis, we have weekly discussions. These will be on Canvas, and basically this is just for you guys to kind of get to know each other and form a community. Make sure that you do participate in the weekly discussions. This is 5% of your grade, and technically it's an extra 5% towards your final grade. If you add up all of these percentages, you'll see that it comes out to 105. The main thing that I want to point out is you must complete the discussion by Sunday night of each week. And this is another one and this one's even more strict than the tests, late submissions will not be accepted. This has to be done by Sunday, mostly because, you guys are supposed to be discussing, and if you're not able to participate in the discussion, then you really aren't submitting anything. Also, because this is an extra 5% towards your final grade, if you miss a discussion, it's not going to negatively impact your grade. All right, the last two things that we have in terms of your grade, we have a midterm exam. Midterm exam will be proctored through ProctorU. You are required to schedule a day and time for the test, and this will require a fee of $25 to $35. You will need a laptop or desktop computer with a webcam to complete the test. You may not do this on a tablet. We'll go through more details of this later. And similarly for the final exam, this is also a proctored assignment, and you will need to schedule it through ProctorU, and again there will be fees associated with it. Okay, so the main thing with the proctored tests is that this is a division requirement. And so 50% of your grade has to be proctored, which means that we do need to confirm that you are the person taking the test and that you are completing the test based on the requirements, which is no notes, no outside resources, and that it is your work that is being submitted. Just so you know, if you are concerned about the ProctorU fees, there are things that we can do, but you just need to contact me. You can take the exam with me via Zoom, or if you are in the Las Cruces area, El Paso area, you can also come and take it at the Gadsden Center. The main thing is someone has to be watching you take the exam. All right, we'll get into that more when we get closer to the midterm and again the final. Okay, let's see here. We'll go through materials provided for the class in a little bit, as well as announcements and everything else. Please make sure that you read the netiquette. This is etiquette for being on this online class. Assistance. If you start struggling in this course, please make sure that you contact me or do something about it. You can go to office hours. As I said, I'm at the Gadsden campus on Monday and Wednesday afternoon. You can come to one of the scheduled Zoom meetings or contact me to schedule a Zoom meeting, or you can go to the Student Success Center for help. And keep in mind, Student Success Center, you can go to any of the Student Success Centers if you want face-to-face. You can also sign up for online tutoring by accessing the ARC link in the Canvas course. I'll point that out to you when we get back into the course. Please make sure that if you do start struggling, reach out to these people or reach out to access one of these resources as soon as possible. Don't wait until it's too late to bring your grade up. Withdrawal policy, just so you know, I'm teaching, as I mentioned, I'm teaching 5 classes this semester. And at mid-semester, it is pretty crazy. I do reserve the right to file an administrative withdrawal, but I will be honest with you, I usually don't have time for this. So, with that in mind, if you know that you are not going to pass this class or any of your other classes, it is recommended that you drop the course by the withdrawal date, and I'll point that out in a little bit, and don't rely on your instructor to do it for you. All right, this is kind of a new thing that we've been asked to add to our syllabus in terms of artificial intelligence. For this class, you are not allowed to use any sort of AI to help you with any portion of this material. Make sure that you are submitting your own work. Academic misconduct, please make sure that you read through this. Make sure that you pay attention that For this class, you are expected to complete all quizzes and tests without the use of cheat sheets, notes, help from tutors, family members, etc., or outside resources. You will be required to show your work, and if I cannot follow your work or if your work is incomplete or incorrect, you will not be eligible for full or partial credit. Make sure that you are using techniques that are appropriate for this class and show all steps. If you have any question about whether your work is comprehensive, contact me so that we can go ahead and look at it and make sure that it will be acceptable for quizzes and tests. If you are using techniques that you found from other sources, make sure that you ask me before you use them on tests or quizzes. All right, student support and institutional information. There are lots of resources on campus that you can take advantage of. There's the tutoring center, the counseling center. I don't know if we still have a health center, but there are lots of resources, security offices, so please make sure that you read through these and see if any of these apply to you. If you have a disability or think you might have a disability and want accommodations, then make sure that you look here so that you find out exactly who you need to contact in order to take advantage of that. All right, important dates. If you want to go ahead and read through this, that is fine. And then finally we have the tentative schedule. Here I recommend printing out the tentative schedule if you don't print out the entire syllabus so that you have the assignments that are required when they're due, and you can kind of check them off as you go along and make sure that you do complete everything. All right, that is the syllabus. So the next thing that I want to go through, let me see if I can get out of here. I'm going to go ahead and let you read through step 2 and step 3. There are a couple introductions here that I want you guys to go ahead and look through, and there are assignments associated with them. The main thing that I want to, and I'll go ahead and go through these in the next video. For now, go ahead and get started. Work on the course expectations, and then I'll upload the next video for the Canvas introduction.